are getting really close to the property. We're going to veer to the right on the gravel and go down this hill. And we're within about half a mile probably of the property. We came from the north. Actually came out of Willow Springs this morning, so we came from the east, but then we went to Norwood and went south on Highway C, turned off on the gravel and went a little ways, and now we're getting close to the property. Large property, awesome property for hunting. I could definitely build here as well because the power is close. I believe power is within about a quarter mile of this property. And curving back to the right. So you want to bring your maps. It can be tricky on your first voyage out here. But now as the county road curves to the left, we're actually going to continue straight on the gravel road. And this is the start of the short little easement road that will take you to the property. These tracks out here were recently logged, so this is the first winter after they were logged, and that's when properties do look their worst. So this is a good chance, I guess, to really see it at its worst. And then if you come out in the spring or summer, things will be looking substantially prettier, I guess. But yeah, the first winter after properties have been logged, things do look pretty rough. We've been doing this for many years, and we've cleaned up a lot of properties, but the funny thing is, when I look back 5 or 10 years, say at two identical properties side by side that were logged equally, the one we cleaned up looks really similar to the one that just sat there and grew back for 5 years. So if you want it to look great immediately, by all means, bring your chainsaw, get a tractor, get a skid loader and whatnot. But otherwise, if you're not in a big rush and you're just using the property for recreation and for hunting, and you're not going to build for a few years, it might be wise just to let Mother Nature do a lot of the cleanup for you, because within just a few years, these limbs and stuff you see, they'll rot away. The remaining trees will grow extremely quickly without the competition from the bigger trees, and it really just doesn't take long for things to really start to look good. So we always think it's a good opportunity for people who want reasonably priced land, is to look for something that has been logged, so you're not paying for timber value that you'll never use anyway. Okay, so now we're facing west on the easement road. We've got the property on the right side of the road. And like all these tracts, some parts were logged heavily, some parts were not. It's just a mixture. We'll do the drone video in a little bit, and that's really going to show us a better view. And again, in the spring and summer, when all the leaves are out, this will look completely different. But the nice thing now is you really get to see kind of the lay of the land. Now the easement road does continue across that little creek bed, but there's actually a private trail that goes right up on the property up to the big ridge. Could potentially be excellent for a building site if you wanted views, or a camping site if you wanted privacy. I did walk up there when we first got the property just a few weeks ago. I did walk up that trail. It gets steep. You can actually see the steep part. I would have driven it in my truck, but there was some brush over the trail right there, so I just walked it. But I mean, it's a fairly decent trail, other than being steep. It gets to the top and it levels off. There's a big, beautiful ridge up there. You're gonna have some nice views to the south. I've walked down this other easement road as well, and you'll want to look at the maps to see how this is situated. But there is some good timber there on the southwest side of the property, down by the gravel creek bed. We'll see what we can do with the drone as far as taking a look at that. But I mean, here's an area right here where just an hour with the tractor or a skid loader, you could push this stuff off to the side and have a big turnaround area. I mean, you're going to have a lot you can do on this property. The hunting is amazing. Deer hunting and turkey hunting out here is just phenomenal. Douglas County is well known for that. You've got national forest nearby, although you'll probably never need to hunt it because you've got a pretty large tract right here. Even without setting up food plot or any feeders, you're going to have deer on this property, and turkey as well. But we're not too far out of Ava. To the north, of course, you have Norwood, which just has a couple stores, but then you've got Mountain Grove nearby, you've got Mansfield nearby. We're a little over an hour out of Springfield, which is an awesome city. So great chance to get maybe a larger property than you had expected for a pretty darn reasonable price because it was logged recently. Check out the drone video as well. That's a great way to look at the property. We haven't done one yet, but we're going to do it right away and post it on the listing page. If this tract is still available, you'll see it on the website. If it's not, then it is sold. We leave the properties on YouTube so that the buyers can share them with their family and friends and all that. So check out the website at InstantAcres.com to see the currently available properties. If this one's gone, we'll find you another one that you'll like just as much or possibly even more. InstantAcres.com.